Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Through Africa, the show where we discuss Africa in details. We talk about its history, politics, education, agriculture, health, and a lot more. Today we dive into the world of politics in Tanzania. It is still me, your host, Mercy Bamgbola. Tanzania elections are scheduled for October, and general elections take place to elect the president and members of the National Assembly. Tanzania approaches this election with a lot of uncertainty. A worsening economic situation, unemployment, alongside poverty and inequality are issues the population is facing. The main opposition party, Chadema, was disqualified from running, and the ruling CCM is struggling to claim its 7th consecutive term. Since 1995, when the multi-party democracy was introduced, Tanzania has had 6 elections, and the CCM has won all of them, making it one of Africa's longest ruling independent parties. This dominance has been reported to be rooted in censorship, electoral fraud, and exclusion of the opposition. Tundu Lissu, who chairs the opposition, is in custody on treason charges due to his party's demand for electoral reforms. The No Reforms, No Election campaign, launched by Chadema, calls for major reforms in the country's electoral system. The campaign stems from issues the party faced during past elections, including the killing of some of its candidates during the 2024 local government elections, the disqualification of its candidates in several elections since 2020, the spread of fake ballots, and concerns over the independence of the Electoral Commission. President Samia, who has ruled since 2021, is running for this year's election as nominated by the ruling party, and her running mate is Emmanuel Nchimbi. Serving as the 6th president of the Republic, President Samia assumed office in 2022 after becoming the constitutionally mandated successor of late President John Magufuli, who allegedly died from COVID-19 in early 2021. Her unexpected rise to the presidency has led to questions around real change and Tanzania's democratic value. 4 years later, the country has seen progress in economic and social transformation, although many have pointed out the shortcomings of the administration, mainly its handling of the opposition party. Shot 16 times in an assassination attempt in 2017, Tundu Lissu is known as the greatest survivor of Tanzanian politics. Before his ban, he believed he could pressure the government to institute reforms ahead of the elections. Part of his strategies for achieving this goal was taking over the leadership of Chadema after accusing the then chairman, Freeman Mbowe, of being too reconciliatory towards the government. After just 3 months at the helm of leadership, he was detained for a speech allegedly calling for the public to launch a rebellion and disrupt the elections. The party is barred from contesting in October's election after it refused to comply with the Electoral Commission's requirements to sign a code of conduct. According to the latest INEC data, more than 37 Tanzanians have registered to vote in the upcoming elections, a 27% increase from the more than 29 million voters recorded in 2020. The distribution of both digital and printed copies of the permanent voter register and the list of polling stations to political parties is a first in Tanzania's Electoral Commission, and this has been widely praised. More than 36 million voters are from mainland Tanzania, while more than 1 million voters are from Zanzibar. Significantly, women constitute 50% of the voter population, outnumbering men, who account for 49%, while more than 49,000 registered voters are people with disabilities. President Samia has urged the INEC to ensure fairness in the upcoming election. She has also called on all candidates seeking leadership positions to follow proper procedures to maintain peace across the nation. She said on Sunday, quote, "Election periods often raise political tension and in some countries can increase risks to peace. However, our experience shows that such disruptions should not happen here. Unfortunately, some individuals use this period to destabilize the country, both from within and outside." And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode of Through Africa. It is still me, your host, Mercy Bamigbola. And if you'd like to send us questions or suggestions concerning what we've discussed today, or on the program itself in general, you can always do so on our WhatsApp number, which is always on the screen. And I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.